Good day, good day, good day. It is a great day. Boy, do I have a lot of energy? Maybe I got a lot of. I'm excited about doing this. I don't know. I was asked to do this, and I kind of ended up going, okay. And then I kind of realized maybe I should do this. So we'll get into that in a second. But welcome. You visited me at Ruach, and or Rowalk. But I'm your host, Frederick. And I put the breath and the wind and the Spirit of God into everything I do. So just about every video, I got a scripture verse. So if you don't want to hear the scripture verse, push ahead, because I got 7 items I got to talk to you about. But I think you might want to hear some of this, because, you know, it's kind of interesting. You go to like you go to church and you hear the pastor and you're like, 40 minutes. He could have said it all in 10. Well, that's true. Just like any conference or whoever is speaking, like, just get to the 10 minutes of meat and let me go. But the problem of it is your aha moment is different than that guy's aha moment. And so you have to go through the whole thing until you go, oh, okay. And that's your aha moment. So you're kind of stuck. So you can fast forward, but you might miss your aha moment. That'd be terrible. So I was asked to do this, and I did the woman one a day or two ago. Obviously you clicked it because you're like, what should you wear for an EMP? That's crazy. Well, you should wear a flashlight. That's for sure. Well, not a bad idea. Just came up with that one. Wear a flashlight around your body. See how that works. But so I decided to do it. Yes, let's do it. But kind of the aha moment for me in this was, you know how when you were a kid, your mom and dad would ask you, hey, you should do this, or, tell you should do that, and you're like, yeah, whatever, and then you have like a teacher or a coach or, somebody else's dad tell you, you should do this. And then that's your aha moment. You go, oh, I never thought of that. And you go home and tell your mom and dad, and they're like, are you freaking kidding me? I've been telling you that for months. So maybe this is yours. Maybe this is how I kick your little booty, because I'm only talking to men, to get your britches in order and get moving on something like this. So we know that we're at the end of the age of grace, okay? And which means whether the seals have been broken or not broken, and where we're at in, Revelation, and there's a whole lot of prophecy and guys talking about it. And really the best thing to do is turn off most of it and just hear from God, is what I say, because they're all kind of a little confusing in a sense, because they all got their own little twist on it, and they're revelations as well, which is really good, because God reveals it first through the prophets, and of course sons and daughters, which we all are, and priests. So, but, we're going to end up in some harder times, that's for sure. So, will there be redemptive judgments? Yeah, I think so. The wrath of God? Yeah, I think so. Maybe certain states and, countries, is what I'm talking about, might end up in the wrath. But we don't know how it's all going to go down. Nobody does, and certainly the Bible says no man knows the hour of Christ's return. But we know that there is a lot that leads up And we believe and pray for his return. He promised he would return for us, and it will be an exciting, wonderful day for believers. But until then, we could go through some hardships. You know, we just had a couple hurricanes. Those people are going through hardships for sure. And loss of a lot and loss of life. So there are hardships that go on. You look in Hawaii and in Ohio, and you know, some of the forest fires and, you know, just natural disasters come upon us, and it comes upon believers too. Believers are, you know, in the wheat and the tares, that we're together. So really what you need to do is, my words, you need to pray about this, seek the Lord, because everybody's situation is different. You know, if you lived in Alaska, maybe you know, what I'm saying to you isn't right. But if you live in the equator, again, maybe what I'm saying to you isn't right. But anyway, so be led by the Lord in how to deal with this. But being prepared, I think, is a good thing. And there's a lot of videos on being prepared. I mean, the go bag videos, there must be millions of them. You know, what to wear, boots and clothing and you know, food or emergency items, you know, medical and protection. Good gravy, lots of protection. But as a man and, you know, as a believer and the head of the household, we have a responsibility to take care of our wives and our children. And sometimes that's kind of hard, even when they get older, you know. We still have kind of a responsibility in some ways. But you even have a responsibility if you're divorced. You're not let off the hook. Even if your wife and kids are in another state, you're still on the hook, man. The judge and the whole system of the court tells you you're still on the hook. And so, whether you're married or not. So this isn't just, you know, I don't know if that's your aha moment or oh no moment. Could be your oh no moment. But it doesn't matter. You are still responsible. And you don't think it's true? Well, I got a scripture verse for you here. So 1 Timothy 5:8, a believer should take care of his own relatives, especially his own family. If he does not do that, he has turned against the faith. He is worse than a person who does not believe in God. Yeah, that's pretty plain. And so if you think that's maybe not for you, and you know that ain't true, well, then I'll just tell you, take it up with God and see how that goes. Good luck with that one. So I don't like surprises. Surprises are, you know, in business, I look for safety nets, I look for options, you look for, you know, doors and windows and things, you know, if, you know, business changes and life changes, you know, the house and whatnot changes, and so you want to have flexibility, right? But being prepared is flexible, but if you're not prepared, you got nothing to be flexible with. So it's best if you are prepared. And what we're talking about today is being prepared in your car. Because you travel a lot. If you're home, you're prepared. You got, you know, clothes and things like that you can rely on, and other protections and things like this in your own home. But if you're at work and out and about, you may not. And I'm going to tell you a bad story here in a second. It's kind of rough. But I'm going to tell you a story. But first I want to give you another scripture, Luke 12:35 through 40. Be ready and dressed. Have your lights burning. Be like men who are waiting for their owner to come home from the wedding supper. And so this goes on Tells you about being ready for Christ's return. Yes, be ready. But there's something more to learn here as well. There's something that I think we can apply today in just about any area of our life. So, Bailey's over there snorting, so sorry about that. So, here's the bad story. So, remember 9/11? We all remember it. We all remember where we were and what we were watching on the television. So, we had, 2 planes in New York that went into the Twin Towers, and they came down. And that's a whole nother... We don't want to talk all about that because that is an area of, what's it called, contention or, conspiracy theory and all that kind of stuff. So, and then there was one in Pennsylvania and there was one in the Pentagon. And I don't know if anybody in the Pentagon or Pennsylvania... Bailey, cut it out. Get off that. Sorry. We go live. That's how it is. And I don't edit, so you just have to deal with it. So the bad thing was New York. And New York, the interviews of people as they were on the street covered with soot, and there's no laughing matter here. It was just horrific. They were covered in this debris and soot, and they were having to walk home. Their cars were destroyed. They shut down the whole city. Shut down the air as well. So no car, no travel. Roads were all blocked. And there were another building or two that actually ended up, sorry about that, that actually ended up getting damaged. But no bus service, no train, no Uber, no nothing. And so people had to walk. They had to walk a long way. And so you would see these people in business suits and high heels for women and skirts and dresses and, whatever. And they had to hoof it home miles and miles. Yeah, no car. And nobody could come into the city either. And I remember people walking over those bridges. Man, that's a long walk. And I know New Yorkers, they're used to walking, but they're not used to walking like that. And so, if, like, one of your loved ones was there, and, they were walking, like, in high heels, they weren't on very long. They ended up taking them off and walking barefoot in the street, which is not a good thing to do. Probably dangerous, probably also not healthy. So if you love your mate, and now we're talking about children, if you love your children, you're going to want to put some stuff in the car, for sure. Everybody talks about go bags and things like that, but if you're at work, let's just say, and you're in a suit or something like that, and you had to walk a long way home, with an EMP, that was the title of this video. You got no cell service, you got no Uber, you got no car, nothing's running, and so you want to just be prepared. And to walk in dress shoes, whether it's men or women, or even in that outfit for a long time or in the rain, that is no way to go. And to make your kids do it too, that's terrible. So, we don't know what could happen in the future. EMP, nuclear, natural, who knows? But you do want to be ready. So men, it is our responsibility as husbands and fathers, to even keep your whole gang up to tip-top performance and shape in regards to something like this. So kids are a whole nother issue, by the way. Their safety and their welfare are paramount in this particular situation. So, like if your kids are at school and, you got to walk home from school, or if you're shopping and you got a kid over here and a kid over there and whatnot, and you got to pick everybody up and get them back home safe. Especially with young ones, that's a long way to walk. If you're going to ask a kid to walk, And a lot of these kids, you know, they just run out to the car, they're barefoot, you know, it's incredible. So this is on our shoulders. So we want to make sure that we're prepared. So, okay, so get into it, will you? So what do I need? All right, well, let's go into the weeds. So do I need the same thing in summer and winter? And the answer would be no, of course not. You know, winter's different than summer. Well, in some ways it is, but summer, who has slept outside on the ground in the summertime? Me. And it could be 65, 70 degrees at night. But if you sleep on the ground, you're losing a lot of body heat. And there's no good sleep when you're in the shivers. So what do you need in the summertime? You kind of need a hat, and you need, you know, a jacket and things like that. If you're having to sleep or rest outside on the ground, it just sucks all the heat out of you. And now that I'm older, I got no antifreeze. The antifreeze is gone. So I need extra stuff. So yeah, you kind of do need a scarf or a hat or, you know, whatnot. Okay, so first off, you want to blend in. You know, I know a lot of people talk about the gray man, and it's kind of true. You know, you don't need to wear flashy jewelry. You don't need to wear flashy outfits or flashy colors. Just be boring and just wear normal clothing stuff. So let's first talk about shoes. Okay, so it all starts with the foundation. That's how it is. So I recommend boots. Waterproof boots. But if you don't like if you don't like boots, and you know, women typically don't. I talked on that other video to the women. Women aren't into this stuff, but you can get away with tennis shoes. So this is a pair of Skechers. And I like Skechers, I really do. They're very stiff, which is what you need on uneven ground. These are brand new. They're grippy. They're kind of like, I guess, hiking shoes. These are not waterproof, so you can spray them. So give them a couple coats of spray, and that would help out tremendously if you don't. But the better thing to do is to wear actually a boot. These are my Keens. Love Keens. Keens are great. They're not too expensive. I don't know what model number this is. Ankle protection, soft. And they are toe protection, and these are waterproof. So I love Keens. Keens are fantastic. And what I put in my shoes is these. These are, I got these at REI. The guy recommended them to me, and they're great. You want to talk about an upsell that was well worth it. So I guess it's called Soul, the company. This is made from remanufactured wine corks. Perfect. So so they got a little bit of a bounce and a give, and they mold to your feet. So I don't know, you stick them in the oven, a couple hundred degrees for a few minutes, and then you stick them in your boot really quick, and then you just stand there until they harden up, and then they, you know, they contour right to your feet. I love these things. These are awesome. So what comes in the boot usually is, you know, not bad, but it's not, maybe not the best. And so you want to upgrade that because, again, you want your feet healthy by the time you get there. If your feet aren't healthy along the way, you're just going to be limping and angry. So you get a blister, you want to break these things in well in advance. And I didn't bring them, but socks are really good. Wool socks. So the socks I like is Darn Tough socks, I believe. And they've got a warranty. Check their website. But I'm pretty sure they've got a lifetime warranty, which is like, oh, that's great. So if you wear through them, I don't know if they're tighter knit. I don't know what they do to their socks, but they're great. They got a little cush on the bottom as well. But a couple pairs of those. Stick the other pair in your pocket or whatnot. So wool is good. Wicks, even if they're wet, they're insulated. Wool's great. And so if your feet get wet, you know, swap them out. Shoes still might be wet. I get that. But darn Darn Tough socks. Yeah, I love them. I don't know why I don't have them up here. So yes, and break them in. You got to wear this stuff and break them in. So let's talk about kids and their shoes. So what happens is you put this in your car and you don't really think about it too much. Meanwhile, your kid's foot is growing. So you've got to stay up on your kids. Your shoes aren't as, we're not growing anymore. I mean, maybe our feet and our nose and our ear hair, but for your kids, you can come back to it in 6-8 months and you go, what do you mean they don't fit? No, Dad, they don't fit. So you do have to stay up on your kids' ones. You just stick them in the back, underneath where the tire is, and you just kind of forget about it because that's how we live our life. Too busy. We forget about it. So you do have to stay up on your kids' shoes. Second is pants. So you want to stay, I like just jeans. I know they get a bad rap sometimes, no, you want lightweight cotton, you want breathable, you want this and that. I would recommend just staying with jeans. They're pretty normal. They don't really have insulating value when they get wet. They're bad. I get all that. So, and stick with like standard colors, gray, black. Black I'm not wild about, but just blue jeans. And not too tight. You don't need to do the whole cargo and the military and the operator look. You don't need to do that. But make sure you always have a belt. I just grabbed one. This wouldn't necessarily be the belt that I would take, but I love this belt because see these two little guys right here? Yeah. If you need to, and you need to swing that kind of hurts. That really could hurt on somebody's head. So act appropriately. Don't do anything illegal. But if you need to protect yourself in a certain way, that's not a bad way to go because you've got, this hunk of metal right there. But then again, you want to obey all laws. So third thing is the shirt. Let's move on. Did I bring a shirt? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, you don't want to wear this shirt. I wore this shirt on purpose. You don't need to look like some military guy that you've got a bunch of stuff already on you. Bailey wants to go down. Just wear a standard shirt. This is flannel, it's got a collar, and you do want long sleeves. Long sleeves are really good because, like, if an EMP went off, let's just say, I don't know, 5 o'clock at night, and you're at the office or you're, at work or whatever, and now you've got to walk home. It's going to get dark. Let's say it's summertime. Okay, no worries, it's summertime. Guess what comes out in nighttime in the summertime? Mosquitoes. So, long pants, long sleeves, you can always roll them up, are really good because you might need the insulating factor. If it's raining or whatnot, you need the length. And so shorts and short sleeve shirt, not a good idea in the back of the car. And again, just, normal colors. Fourth is a hat. Okay, so you're identified, if you're needing to be identified by maybe your height, by your white or gray hair, by features, colors, whatnot. And so if you wear a hat, it protects you from the sun, protects you from the elements. I get that. Little insulation, depending on the hat. But I think a hat is really important. It is, it's just good to cover your head. And, it does not and should not be black. We don't need to look like a big-time operator here. And no labels, by the way, no labels. Should be like a plain hat. So fifth is a coat or a jacket. So again, this has no insulating properties to it, but it does have a hood, which is great. Hood is great if it's raining, so it's water resistant, repellent, whatever. So if you need an insulating thing underneath it, then certainly grab a sweater, wool sweater, grab something else to put underneath it. And because if that gets soaked, your next layer you want also is protection. But I like longer coats because it doesn't have to be down to your thigh, but jackets don't cover your butt. And so if it's winning, yes, your butt talks. So if it's windy or wet and you sit down, you want to sit on kind of your coat, get it down there so that you're not soaking up anything on your butt. So, and of course, it does protect you as well. Fun fact, I will say this. I told the women to wear baggy jeans and to make sure that you have a coat long enough to cover your butt, because you don't need to be looked at at all. This is not the time that you want people to look at you. This is not a fashion statement at all. So dull in colors, grays, blues, browns, whatever. Not a lot of design, no labels. 6, a scarf. So I got this thing, I call it the shmooka. I don't know what it's called. It's just this freaking big scarf that I got like at the Army surplus store. And they wear it in the desert. So, you know, they wrap it around their head and around their eyes and whatnot. So you can't just buy a flimsy small scarf. It has to be a little bit bigger. And you don't want it to be colorful, but scarves are really great. Women, you've learned a good thing with lots of scarves. So it protects your neck. You can put it up over your head. You can put it over your face. I mean, if it's a nuclear situation, you're going to stay indoors to begin with. The fallout is going to occur. And there's a whole lot of videos on that, so go watch all those. But you are not going to want to directly breathe some of that stuff. And I'm not saying a scarf is going to, you know, protect you from all that. I'm just saying that protecting your skin is paramount, and certainly your eyes as well. So, you know, I didn't say it in the last video. It's not one of my points here, but even having some glasses or safety glasses, sunglasses along with the trip, probably a smart idea. So anyways, scarf is really important. And also, if you're bleeding, scarf can be tourniquet time. So, or soaking it up, or, you know, whatever, hold it there, whatever. Or help someone else, you know, it might not be you. 7. Okay, this is the final. 7. So obey all your local laws. State laws, whatever it is, everybody's a little different. If there's an EMP, I'm not so sure how the letter of the law would stand at that point, but it doesn't matter. We obey the laws, and I would want you to as well. So, but having a little protection, or in need of cutting something away, or, you know, whatever it is, even if it's just, you know, cutting up an apple. I mean, it's good to have a little knife. And so this one is by Gerber. This is just a thumb tension thing. I don't need to pull it out, but it has a really long clip to it. You can see right there. And, you know, so this can slide onto anything. I put a little paracord on the end here. And this is actually a snake knot. So you want to see how to do a snake knot? Go see somebody else's video. They've got a million of them. Did it on this one. This one's a little different color. This one's got a little shorter clip to it. I don't even know who this knife is by. But again, it's just a thumb little thing. And I know if you're a major prepper, you're going to be all over that. I get it. So this is just trying to get you to pack something in your car to be ready just in case. And again, so many people have the go bag, but they don't have the clothes for the experience. And this is where I want to kind of give you this aha moment to say, yeah, I think I should put something in there. You know, from a dad who has a girl, you know, they end up wearing all this kind of crazy stuff. And, you know, whether it's a short skirt, whether it's workout clothes, you know, they're in tennis shoes, they're in flip-flops, they're in, you know, whatever. And they're buzzing here, buzzing there in their car. And if they get stuck somewhere and they have to walk home in flip-flops for 10 miles, I think in between their big toe and the next toe is going to be pretty raw. So that's not a good thing. So at least I can say, hey, look, I put a pair of boots in your car for you. You were supposed to wear those, remember? So you got to do your part at least. If you are at the office, and, you know, I said this to women, and even men are just as important. If a couple of you live in the general area, make sure you buddy up with one another. Because if you're walking home, you want to be safe. And there is safety in numbers generally. So if you've already decided, and this has always got to be, you got to think of this stuff ahead of time. So if I live downtown, I don't want to go on this street and that street to walk home, but I can go on this street and it might take me a little ways out, but at least it's safer. And then I can move around and go back down this way. And it's, you know, I pass this, I pass that, and it's all good. And so maybe that's the way you want to think. So you want to think about this stuff, pre-plan everything, pre-plan, you know, how your kid's going to get home, because that could be a real problem. I'm not sure the school would release them just to say, go, go, go. But you do want to make sure that, you know, everybody is in safe passage. So safety in numbers. Last little bit of advice. So your feet can take you so far until you've got to rest and relax. But what's better is wheels. Yeah, wheels. So, Bailey, I'll let you out in a minute. Hang on there, sweetie. So, I know putting in the back of your car like a skateboard or a scooter, like you can get those scooters that fold up. You know, 2 wheels and you're going around for like less than $100 online. So a bicycle that folds up, you know, are we going to have those in the back of the car or attached to the trunk or in the bed of the pickup truck? Probably not. But you could probably get home 2 to 5 to 10 times faster on just one of those little scooters that are just, you know, manually powered than walking. And it saves you a lot. I mean, one push scooch is probably 10, 12, 15 feet. One stride is only 3. So you can see a lot faster. So that's an idea, is, you know, if you're a long ways off, buy one of those scooters, put it in, you know, if your wife works downtown, put it in the back of her car and say, honey, doesn't take up much room, but it could save you a lot. Last fun fact. So think about walking by. If there's danger and there's problems and issues, you want to be safe. And so if you have to duck into a place, where's a good place to duck in? I know that I've kind of thought about here that there's a hospital that I would pass. And so usually hospitals have guards and they also have police. And so if you're able to maybe duck into the hospital, into the lobby, or into somewhere into the hospital, I'm not saying sneak around or do anything illegal. I'm just saying they have bathrooms and you might feel safer until the time of a problem passes. That's not a bad place, but again, think these things out. And I always say be led by the Lord. Be led by the Holy Spirit. How do you want me to think this through? What's that saying? A pound of ounce of cure of what? However it goes, you know what I'm talking about. And this is all really important because, walking back 15 miles or 2 miles, whatever it is, you can arrive at your destination and be totally worn out with issues of blisters, or you can arrive actually pretty good, not too terribly bad, because you don't know once you arrive what situation you're walking into or what situation could arise there. So you want to arrive at least in a place where, yeah, I did it, I'm tired, but I'm in one piece. That's a win. So, lots of talk on go bags. Maybe I'll do a go bag one. You know, I don't know. We'll talk to the crew. We'll talk to the filming crew over there and see if I should do a go bag thing. But for now, I hope somewhere in this it triggered your aha to get you moving, to put a little bit of clothes in the car in a bag or in a Ziploc thing, something, some boots, protect your kids, because if it's raining, boy, that'll stinkos. Wish you had an umbrella. So that's another thing in the car. You know, how much stuff can we put in the car? Well, there's only so much room. I get it, but just a little bit of stuff can really make your life a whole lot better in the end. Okay, so until next time, be safe. And men, you got a responsibility, so let's get in on it. And maybe I will do the go bag. I'll have to pray about that. We'll see. So until we see each other again, see you guys later.